All right, everybody, welcome back. Totally Driven Radio. We're back, Nick. And it looks like we might even actually have PJ on the phone. How about that?
Yeah.
Is this the one and only Mr. PJ, is it Byrne?
Yes. What's up? How are you?
It is you. Welcome to Totally Driven Radio.
Thank you so much. I had no idea we were doing this tonight. This is awesome. I'm glad I'm doing this. I think it's appropriate. I'm driving in the car. If we're on Totally Driven Radio, I think it's appropriate. How are you guys doing?
That? We're doing good. Now, you're like becoming the man of Hollywood as of late.
What? I don't want to let you guys down. I don't know if it's that big, but I didn't want to let you guys down. How are you? Yeah, it's going. Things are good right now. I can't complain.
Things are good. The Wolf of Wall Street you were just in.
Yes.
How exciting is that?
I think that's sort of like a top of the mountain experience. When I till this day when I say it, I'm like, I got to work with Martin Scorsese, and anytime you get to work with an iconic director and someone you sort of idolize, I think like we all did, it's a really special experience, man. Wow.
Well, how about even more important than Martin Scorsese? Meathead.
That was a nice time as well. I'm not going to lie to you. That was a nice time as well.
That's awesome. So, that was like a pretty iconic cast. You worked with Martin Scorsese. You got Rob Reiner, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill. It had to be like kind of like a party on the set.
Yeah, Jean Dujardin. It was, the cool. You got to remember the premise of this movie is pretty much show up and have a blast and enjoy yourself. So that's a nice way to go to work every day. But I will tell you this: it's, these aren't the nicest guys in the world, and I think, especially when you're improvising, the hardest thing for me was to really, you got to really leave your morals and ethics at the door and trick your brain to be like, let's really show these guys exactly who they are. Just so people know that these guys exist and they're out there.
Wow. Now, how about when I think of Jonah Hill, I instantly think like that whole clique of with Seth Rogen and Joe Franco. It's just like, do you think to yourself like, I need to get in good with Jonah so I can hook up with that clique and get into all those movies with those guys?
Do I think that? It's so odd. I kind of like how. Don't get me wrong. That'd be amazing to get to do that with them. And anytime those guys want to work, I'm like the first one there. But I guess when you go to work, you want to just go to work and service whoever character you're playing the best way possible. That's kind of like what I think about it. Maybe I guess I should be more forward thinking and business savvy, but. Sort of whatever comes my way, I'm trying to I'm going to eat, sleep, and drink this, and and that's what I did in Wolf of Wall Street. So that was, I understand where you're coming from, but I guess I maybe I should work that way, but I just kind of like, what is this character, and that's what I'm going to work on.
Now here's something I wanted to ask too. Like as we're going through and like trying to research you and look up things about you, and I was going through, and I was actually like watching some interviews with you that you did some other places and all. Your personality comes off to me like. Almost like a stand-up comedian.
Does it? Oh, my gosh. I've never done that. I think I'd be mortified to do that, to be honest with you, which is wild considering what I do for a living. But, I tip my hat to those guys. Even guys like you that are like live radio, this is tough stuff. I like to prepare. Even though I like improvising, I still like to have a lot of time to prepare and know what the heck I'm doing.
That's true. So you never did no stand-up or nothing then?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
Did I let you down? Is it getting weird? It's getting weird now. I let you down.
Nah, you didn't let me down. Not at all.
You like me 6% less. 6% less right now. Oh, geez. I'm going to get in a car accident right now. Oh, my gosh.
Now,
where are you guys, by the way? Where are you in the world?
I'm in Philly.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that place in the world. Sure.
I'm in Philly.
My wife went to Villanova.
Well, there you go. That's 20 minutes from my house.
No, I know. There you go. She was a cheerleader, actually. I remember she was a captain of the cheerleading at Villanova.
No kidding.
Yeah, infinitely better athlete than me. Infinitely better. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And where else are we? In Philly, where else are we?
Arizona.
Phoenix? I've heard of Phoenix as well. I know both of the places. The double P's. The double P's in America. Nice.
Look at that. Now, you're probably one of the only people that can go through life and say, I kind of know what it feels like to be like Brad Pitt.
How is that? If apparently I know what I know that feels like, and I still want to know what that feels like. Because how is that possible?
To have Jennifer Aniston rip your pants down.
Oh, okay. Now, did they do it with like 100 people in the room filming? That's really that's the pure magic. That's the pure magic. Oh, that's what makes it really hot. Yeah.
When I thought of that right away. I was just like, wow, he's probably one of the only people that knows what it's like to be like Brad Pitt.
I love you for saying that. Thank you.
I'm sure your wife will love me now too for saying that.
Oh, she's cool. She'll still love you. It's all right. And you're from Philly. You get a lot of room.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna pull in and beat so hard, and she's gonna come out and get dinner. She's gonna literally get the dinner from the car, which is hysterical.
That's cool. What are you guys having for dinner tonight?
Well, we're L.A. There's always terrific Mexican food. So we went to a place called Hugo's Tacos, which is our favorite.
I was going to say tacos.
Yeah, tacos. And that's in a place called Atwater Village here. And it's awesome.
Wow. See, now, if you were back here in Philly, you'd be getting cheesesteaks.
What are you doing? What's the question? Geno's or Pat's?
Geno's or Pat's or Jim's or Tony Luke's.
What Jim's is... Yep.
As a matter of fact, I think it was last week at Jim's, Kevin Hart and Ice Cube, they tweeted out, we're going to be there serving cheesesteaks. And
no way.
It was a zoo. There was like thousands of people lined up outside getting cheesesteaks, and they were serving them.
That's awesome. Did you go?
Yeah. No, I saw it on the news.
Wait, so what? Are you being nice to everyone? You can't pick your favorite? Can you pick your favorite?
If I usually choose Geno's over Pat's if I'm there at that spot.
Okay.
But my personal, here's what I used to do when I would go out and night of drinking. I would go and I'd go to like Geno's or Pat's. Would probably be in Geno's and get a cheesesteak, and then I would drive down to the other side of town and go over to Tony Luke's and get a roast pork.
Oh, that's dirty. Yes, that's great. That's a great night. I'm in. I will take that night.
Nice. Let me know when you're in Philly. We'll hook it up.
Oh my God, it'd be great. You've just removed any notion for the burrito I want to eat right now. I want a roast beef so bad right now. Oh God. Now, what do you go for? Now, do you guys make your own? Well, I don't know. I'm Philly. I mean, do you guys make like meatballs and gravy or any of that stuff? Or do you guys call it gravy in Philly?
I call it gravy. Right? Yes. See that?
Yeah, I call it gravy too. That's the bomb, man. That's when I grew up, and I make meatballs and gravy.
Yeah, meatballs, sausage, and gravy. Yes, look at that.
That's the best.
That's the best. We just had Lita Ford on, and she was telling us how she's Italian, but she calls it sauce.
Oh, really? Well, then kick her out. No. Not really. Not really. Well, you know what's a big deal? Are you Sicilian? Is your family Sicilian?
You know, I need my wife to answer that for me. She knows better than I do.
Okay, yeah. I feel like people from Sicily call it gravy a lot, and you know they're bland in Jersey. That's a big thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, like my grandparents, they're direct from Italy. They're off the boat.
Where?
Hardcore.
What part?
I'm not sure. Here you go. I know my wife's listening. Jess, help me out here.
Jess, what is going on, Jess? All right, I'll call her. I'm going to call her after. I'll call her after and find out.
As she's typing, let's see.
That's hysterical.
Portions, she says yes. Portions are from Sicily, yes.
That's okay, good. There you go. I'm from a place called Santa Croce. If that means anything. That's in Sicily. Yeah. Just so I wanted you to know that. That's all. I feel better about myself in America now. Just now that you know.
Look at that. So you're Italian then, right?
Yeah, I'm Italian and Irish.
Okay, so where did the name Byrne come from?
Byrne is the Irish, and they're from I think Wicklow, Ireland.
Wow. Okay.
A place called Wicklow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to let you down. I'm not letting you down with my family history.
You're not letting me down.
Then they came into Maine and they worked their way down and a lot of Springfield area, and then we did Jersey. Cool. And that's it. But my grandfather came from Italy. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so you see, you're not letting me down, and you're definitely not letting my co-host down because he's a huge fan of Legend of Korra.
Oh yeah,
God,
definitely.
Yeah.
When they told me that you were going to be on, he was like, "Oh, he's on Wolf of Wall Street." I said, "Wait a minute, he's the voice of Berlin."
There you go. You know what was crazy? First of all, I think they're like the best fans in the world for anything. I honestly do. I was walking the red carpet in New York for the premiere of The Wolf of Wall Street, and there was a couple people there screaming "Bull in." That's my character in Korra. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And then they even like followed us because there's that window where you go from like, you know, where you watch the movie in the theater, and then you got to go to like where the party is. And they were like following, and they were screaming "Bull in" from that transition too. I was like, "It's freezing outside. God bless them. They're the best." And I was like, "Whatever you want, I'll sign. You're awesome for doing this." It's so awesome.
The show's just
fans.
amazing.
They really are.
It really is, and I've never seen a cartoon like that embraced by this many grown-ups. It's just everything about it is just wonderful.
It's ageless, and well, I mean, look, to their credit, Mike and Brian. I mean, those guys are like, I think they're madly. Not that all people that don't do cartoons are incredible artists, but these guys, it's like they're trying to take this to like this higher other art form. I feel like, and it takes like 3 years from once we lay it down for it to like see the light of day because it's just so high end and color correction and like amazing artists in Japan that are getting a piece of it and they're getting a piece of it here in America. It's a really sick, incredible process.
I mean, the whole world of voice acting is really exploding, and every time it's funny. We were talking about this earlier in the show where we're interviewing somebody and we're talking like for Wolf of Wall Street, but it turns out like you're doing the voice acting thing, and then you talk with them and they're just like, yeah, it's a whole nother world, and it really seems to be exploding to where voice actors like yourself are like getting credit and just due now. And this is your first time doing voice acting too, correct?
Yeah, this is my first job. It kind of worked out, and I really didn't even audition for a lot of cartoons or that whole world. And one of my agents sent me over there. He's like, try this out, and then I just started riffing actually a lot. And I guess my mind kind of works. I like it. Sometimes I like it better because you don't have to worry about where the camera is and hitting your mark, and you can just literally close your eyes and just transport yourself to like. It's kind of a magical thing to be a part of. I love that. I used to in the early days like jump around and move around a lot because I'm still used to being physical. But now I kind of can stand in place and literally just close my eyes and go to that place, it's an awesome experience. And then and I will tell you this, and this is the honest truth. Whatever I imagine, they always crush it, and whatever I see on the screen is always so much better on the screen because that's how good they are. I can't even fathom that, but it's always so much better than what I pictured.
So you guys, I guess, are just given you have the script and you just read through. It's not like you're actually like watching what's going on. So you just record your part.
No, we lay it down. We record it. So most of the time we try to record it together with Janet and my brother Dave Faustino, Janet Barney and Dave Faustino, and we try to all be together, and then so we can like work off each other. And they'll let me riff a little bit, but it's like when you read a book and sometimes you read the book and then you see the movie and like the movie wasn't as good as the book and what your imagination was.
Right.
I honestly go, I'm going to imagine this in the most awesome way possible, and then I'm going to watch it, and it's always so much better.
Wow.
Which that's
pretty
kudos
awesome.
to them, and that's an honest. I mean, that is like I'm not doing that to blow smoke. That is like a totally truthful. And then when we see, and the best part for us is when we get to do ADR. So essentially, like we record ourselves. Like a year and a half later, we get to go do ADR because you can kind of see mock-ups of what they've done, and you get a good picture of what they painted. And because you got to make oofs and noises that you didn't do the first time, like all these weird sounds, like you're getting in fights and whatever. Or they add an extra line, and that is like the most special experience because you can really see, in the back room and the color is amazing, like what the heck they did for these fights that go on, or these beautiful backdrops, or these different lands that come up in their imagination. I mean, it's this epic story. So.
And you got to do a lot this season. I mean, Book 2 really sort of featured a lot of these sort of smaller but very funny and very sort of, especially how dark this season was, you definitely brought sort of this light into the shows with kind of all the stuff. And just, it's amazing the amount of work, and like, I'm blown away by the show every single week.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, thank you. And I'll tell the guys that. And they when I tell you, they appreciate the heck out of it, and I think all the actors do. We went to the first Comic-Con, and we didn't sort of understand, like, what is happening? But then you see the passion of all the people. Because at first you just kind of did it alone in a room. You're like, I don't know if this works. And then when you see how passionate people they are, like you and like all the other fans, you honestly bring all the fans' passion into the booth with us. We all do that now because we know how jazzed people are about it, and we honestly do not want to let them down. You know, it's just like, they're going to love this. And I think, you know, from our perspective, it's like we're constantly trying to raise the bar, and it feels like we do. And, you know, and for my character, it's great because, you know, he's eternally an optimist, and it's a kind of nice way to go to work every day, and sort of that world, especially coming off of Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, it's like a totally different human. Yeah.
So when you guys do that, though, like, do you like improv stuff and all? I mean,
for which one, the Wolf or
no, for like Legend of Korra.
Yeah. So they give me some room to like add some stuff. But the good thing is, and this is, I think, happens on any shows with writers and the talent is, you start to come and merge with each other. They start to hear what I think is funny or what I've done with a character, and then I can kind of see where they want to go, and then all of a sudden they start writing for my voice or how I talk or what, you know, PJ's jokes are. And it's interesting, as time has gone on, I actually improvise a heck of a lot less because they're just writing for what my mind would naturally say, which is kind of an awesome thing. It's actually odd and bizarre. You show up and you're like, wow, I would say that. That's so wild that it's already on paper. That's so bizarre.
That's pretty cool.
So,
yeah, because I didn't know, like, I mean, I guess they have it drawn out beforehand, or they draw it afterwards, or, I mean, because I know.
No, they draw it. It's all after. Once we record it, then they start drawing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know. That's the whole process. There is the whole draw. I mean, that's a real intricate process, and yeah, that's cool.
Now, have you recorded anything for Book 3 yet?
We have. Yeah, we started that. Yes, for sure, and it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I was literally just there doing stuff today, and they will kill. I'm so afraid of saying anything wrong because I've gotten in trouble before.
Well, no, and they changed it. I mean, the mythology of the show itself completely uprooted in the final episode, so I'm sure everybody's dying to know what happened, so we really can't wait till it comes back.
I would just say this, you're going to freak out. You will freak out, and that is not an understatement. It is so cool, and I'm like, so there's actually a thing on Tumblr or whatever of a PR, of this great PR girl. She's like shushing me because I'm like dropping knowledge. She like comes around and she's like shushing my mouth.
I saw
it's pretty funny, and I'm like, oh,
it is
yeah,
funny,
that's a real thing. Yeah, I'm like, oh god, oh boy.
Oh, that's funny.
That really happened. Yeah.
So now, how does a guy? I mean, you're a guy who went to college for finance and acting, like. Two total opposite ends of the spectrum. Like,
no, I know.
How'd you end up like leaning and sticking with the acting over to finance?
Well, the acting was just something random that happened. It was, you know, the short story is, I finished like a crazy final session, and I wanted to start drinking, and no one was coming home in my 8-man. And finally, after like 4 hours, a roommate came in. I'm like, yes, drink with me, please. And he's like, I'm going to go audition for a play. I'm like, no, you're not. We're going to go drink. He's like, I am. And he's like, well, I'm like, fine. If I come with you, you have to come drink with me. Long story short, though, is I got the part and he didn't. That's sort of how it started. And then, like, faculty saw the show, and they're like, you should audition for main stage shows. And I did, and I got a part. I remember it was like part 2 if they were gone. And then they're like, wow, you should double major. You're really good at this. I'm like, oh, well, you know, there's not a lot of finance guys with, you know, theater degrees, acting degrees, so I thought, you know, it also would help my public speaking. And then so I double majored, and And then literally you get recruited by banks essentially when you are a senior in the fall of your senior year. And then I got a job ready to go on Wall Street. But I'll never forget, this teacher, Dr. John Houchin, said, you should go to grad school to be an actor. And I just remember going, you should stop drinking Jack Daniels immediately. You're crazy. And he just stayed on it, and he's like, look, here are the 3 best schools in America. They only take 10 kids. If you don't get in, I won't say another word. And I thought, and he literally did all the paperwork essentially for me. When you audition for grad school, you just really have to memorize 2 different monologues, like a contemporary and a classical. And the rest is just filling out paperwork and getting 2 recommendations. He's like, here's the recommendations. I did all this work. Just learn some monologues and go audition. And I was like, since he really extended himself that way, I felt like it was my duty to at least try. And then I got into the theater school at DePaul in Chicago, which used to be the Goodman School of Drama, which is around for 100 years. And I decided to go, and then that's when my parents officially wanted to kill me. They're like, "What are you doing?" And that's how it started. That's how it all kicked off.
And you've done a lot of cool things too.
It's been a nice ride. It was a nice ride. At first it started out I did a lot of commercials, which was great, because that's a great way to pay the bills, and I didn't have to really do anything else. I could kind of always focus on acting. But I thought it was like a great, coming from theater, and you're used to being on stage, and you got to fill these rooms with 1,500 people. To get thrown into do your first, on-camera thing is kind of it's a little crazy. So I love that I had the opportunity to do commercials and also learn how to rip off 3 jokes in 30 seconds and just work that way and learn how to audition in front of casting directors in Hollywood. And then so it was kind of a nice slow thing. And then I got an agent from that, and then that's how it sort of grew from there.
That's awesome. So what else are you working on now? Do you have anything else coming up or?
Well, yeah, I'm finishing Intelligence. I don't know if Intelligence is out.
Absolutely.
And then
the second episode just aired this week, man, and it's a strong show. It's so good.
We love it. We're so happy with it, and the cast is awesome. And we look, it's we like that it's a smart show, and there's a ton of action, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and nothing's ever what it seems, but it is a little more forward, being a little more modern. That he's like a computer chip in his head. But I guess the good thing about that is look, whatever, it's awesome because it's whatever the world's biggest problems are, the CIA and the FBI can't solve it, we will solve it. That's what they call us. So I think that's an awesome way to go to work and save the world every week. I kind of love that.
Now, do you have you heard this is just a serious version of Chuck? And honestly, I thought that at first, and then I saw the show, and it really is something completely different. Even with the premise being slightly similar, it's a totally different show, and it has its own sort of unique feel and cast and everything going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go. Yeah, I honestly don't go to work thinking oh, this is like Chuck. I just go out. I'm like, this is technology that is 2 minutes in the future. People are going to be connected to the computer in so many interesting ways, and and this is what's going to help essentially save America from all these different problems, or the world from these different horrible people that are out there. So I don't think of it as Chuck at all.
Cool. Anything else beside that you're working on?
That's it. I think Walk of Shame is coming out, and then obviously right now there's some other stuff that I can't say for sure. It's we're waiting to see. We're waiting to see. I also have that I'm on hiatus from shooting Intelligence in a minute too. So.
And it's kind of amazing though, because you've also been involved with sort of what I consider anyway some modern sort of television royalty shows. And I'm a huge I'm our TV guy, and it's my thing. But I mean, you did a guest spot on ER, right? And you were on the very underrated Four Kings, I believe, as well. And of course, NCIS and The Game.
Show. Yeah, I loved Four Kings. That show should still be on.
It should.
And The Game. Obviously, that's my family. The people over at The Game. Those are my people. Those are my people. I love them.
Yeah, you have 5 or 6 seasons there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, it was that much. Yeah. No, they're the best.
And then as well, I think you did Three Rivers, which again was, I think, another one that really, if it came out 2 or 3 years later, just like Four Kings, I think it would have been huge. It would just timing must have just been a little off on that.
I know it's a tricky business, this TV. Like what gets to go and what gets to stay, and who knows? Who knows?
Now, I have to ask you about your experiences as on Hannah Montana as well, because you did 2 episodes.
Yeah, I did that. That was actually, something wild about that though. If you have, I had a niece and nephew, and obviously that was like, we're doing this for sure, because they freak out. It's like the coolest thing. And I have godchildren, so you gotta like keep them in mind. And that's really what makes them understand that their uncle is like an actor, which is pretty wild. But they're also the most famous audience I've ever seen. Like Will Smith was in the audience there with his son, and who else was there? It was like, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David was there. It's just
wow.
like, what is going on? Yeah, it's like the wildest thing. It's like, it's a pretty wild experience.
Can you picture Hannah Montana from then into the Miley Cyrus that we have now? Did you see that coming?
I don't think anyone saw that coming. I don't know. Oh my God. In my mind, she's still like a little kid. I'm like, what's happening? When you know someone when they're young and you see them, it's a mind. You're like, what's going on?
Right.
But she's young and she's gonna make mistakes, and we all got to go to college and have a blast and whatever, and we didn't have cameras on us, and this is like her college, and she didn't get, she's not surrounded by. She makes a lot of money and surrounded by a lot of yes people. So whenever, she'll find her path. She's a good person, so she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
But the scary part is, like all these choices she's making. I mean, you might say they're mistakes or whatever, but I think they're pretty calculated. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what I
think. Like, yeah. 42 million people are like retweeting about it. You're like, holy moly, something is different about this. It's pretty smart to me. So she's all right. She's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think so. And that's the scary. Like when you go into like her Twitter and you see she's got like 13 or 14 million people following her, and you think to yourself,
that's it.
Wow. Yeah, like
wow.
Like
I have like 7 people following me on Twitter. That's amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah, see, you got like I think 6 more than I have. So I mean,
yeah, I do. I have 6 more. I got 1. Are you guys following each other? That's why you both have 1. So you got like
exactly.
I'll follow you guys. I'll follow you guys for sure.
You know what it is? I started multiple accounts so I can get another follower.
Brilliant.
See
Brilliant.
that? I'm
no,
proactive.
No, you know what else? He was on. Now I hate to say this because it kind of embarrasses me, but he was on an episode of Bones as well, and that sort of features my quote unquote man crush, David Boreanaz. So I gotta ask how that was, and he's a Philly boy as well, man.
That is hysterical. Yeah, they're cool. I mean, look, I've been really lucky. I've never worked on. They talk about divas or guys being jerks. I've been really lucky to. Work with good people every time. It's I have nothing bad to say, and everyone's cool.
I'm a little taken back.
Awesome.
I never heard Nick come out and say he had a man crush before.
He told me that.
You got to see the guy, Bay. That's all I'm saying.
It's all PJ's fault. See that? See what you've brought out the man crush in Nick.
No, that's all right. No, this is a very safe phone call. So let it all out. It's a safe circle. The circle of three. It's a triumvirate of safeness. It's nice.
Oh, that's funny. Well, PJ, I want to thank so much. This has been a lot of fun. We got to keep in touch, and
No, whatever. I'll do this whenever. I'll just wish I knew that was happening. I just got a call saying, you're supposed to do this. I'm like, no one told me that. But so whenever you want, I'm happy to talk. I'm so excited to eat my dinner, but I want to be eating a roast beef sandwich. I want to be eating a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah, enjoy your tacos before they get cold. And when you come to Philly, we're getting cheesesteaks and
done.
roast beef and roast pork and some beers.
Done.
Cool.
All the above. I love you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you. You too, man.
All right, fellas. Absolutely.
Hey, real quick, can I get you to cut an ID before I let you go?
Dude, what do you want me to say? Absolutely.
You can say whatever you want to say, and just you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
You ready?
Go for it.
What's up, guys? You're listening to the best host in the world on Totally Driven Radio. This is PJ Byrne. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, man. Go enjoy your tacos. You too.
Bye-bye.
See ya. All right.